People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a one-boy, cuddly toy, my up, my down, my pride and joy. People, let me tell you about him. He's so much fun. Whether we're talking man to man or whether we're talking son to son, 'cause he's my best friend. Yeah, he's my best friend. La la, ba da 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 ya, ba da 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 ba, ba da 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 ya, ba da da da.
And welcome to my review of the Ka Bar Dozier. So today's review is going to be outside due to the fact that the Michigan weather is now starting to be consistently nice. I actually prefer to do these outside. But let's get started on this knife. First, we're going to do the specs on the knife, a little bit of tire kicking, some testing, and then final thoughts and impressions. So with this knife, you're getting a 3-inch blade made of AUS 8A. You have a nice hollow grind here with a satin finish. Your handle length is going to come in at 4.25 ounces. It's made of a nice grippy Zytel handle material. Your overall length is going to be 7.25. Your knife features a lockback closing mechanism. Deploys via thumb studs. Your weight on this guy comes in at a nice 2.2 ounces. It does feature a reversible pocket clip, tip up carry, right or left-handed. The price on this guy is $19.95 over at Blade HQ. One nice thing about these knives is they come in a big variety of colors. This is kind of like the classic blue with the satin finish. You can get orange and black, you can get zombie green, you can get gray and black, black on black. A lot of options on these guys. So I went with the blue though. So let's get started and kind of kick the tires on this guy. So kicking the tires a little bit, just real quick side note, this was one that I was kind of surprised that got picked by you guys, and just right off the bat, honestly, I'm glad it was. So initially out of the box, the things that I look at are blade centering, which this guy, let me see if I can get in there for you, was pretty good. There's not a lot of room in there, but I would say that it came centered really well. The sharpness on this knife was the sharpest out of the box, out of the four. Besides the ABKT, that thing was probably the sharpest knife I've ever had out of the box, but this was a really close second. This thing was awesome out of the box. I mean, it was going through paper, doing little tiny slice like paper ribbons. So right out of the box, good job, Ka Bar, awesome. The action right out of the box, I could flick it right open. There was no resistance. The pivot wasn't dry. Your locking mechanism, no issues, no clicking, no lock stick. There is no blade plate up and down. Maybe a hair side to side, but this pivot is adjustable. So if you wanted to, you could kind of dial that in. I like where it's at right now with the action. I might give it a half turn just to see if I can get rid of that. I mean, it's small, guys. It's a hair of the side to side. I'm probably being a little too picky. Your handle here is this Zytel. It fits really nice in hand. You can see it's that 4.25 inches. So for you guys with slightly bigger hands than me, you get a little bit more room. You can see that there's room down here. If I go down to the bottom, you can see that there's room up here. It's nice and grippy. It's not smooth. I kind of like the Zytel better than some of the glass reinforced nylon handles that I've been kind of running through. With the cold steel, there was flashing marks where the two pieces went together. On this guy, the plastic comes together really well. No crazy sharp edges, no bad, not milling I guess, but no bad mold marks. So really high marks for fit and finish on the Ka Bar Dozier. So I'm playing around with the focus inside and versus outside, so excuse me for some of the focus issues. But so right out of the box, really good. I'm really impressed with this knife so far, where we're at right now in the video. So we're going to do a little bit of testing, talk about some of the features. One of the first things I want to highlight, this has the best pocket clip out of the 4 knives that we purchased, guys. I really like this pocket clip. I'm going to show you a demonstration of it going in and out of the pocket. done really well. One nice feature that I really enjoy that they did is right here. This is recessed. You just have the single screw. It is recessed so that that top of that pocket clip sits in the handle. And if you see, it goes to the other side like that. I really enjoy that feature. It makes for a nice clean pocket clip. Fits in the pocket pretty good. So we'll go into the pocket right now. I'll show you that. You'll see that it goes in every time. Just fantastic. It's got a nice hold, but not too hard. And it goes in nice and smooth. I wasn't sure if I was going to do this test with the Ka-Bar, but figure since we're trying to be objective, I might as well. This was more for the triad lock test. Just doing some high impacts on the front and the back to see how this lock back holds up. Like I said, there's already a little bit of a side-to-side play, so I'll monitor that to see if that gets worse. And then there is no up and down. So let's have a whack at this a few times, and then we'll see how it's doing with the blade play. All right, so I was using a pool cue stick. This is really hard, dense wood, so it's good for doing these impact tests. So first things first, let's check it out. Side to side is about the same. Maybe just the slightest detectable of up and down. So we'll give this pivot a half turn once we go back out there and see if that corrects it, but still pretty solid. So I haven't done any testing on cutting besides the paper, so we're gonna do the lawnmower belt test, see how it gets through that, see how the edge holds up. The edge on the other knives held up pretty good. There was no deformation or chips, so we'll test the AUS-8 through this, and then we'll put it through the rope, seeing as that's what we've kind of done with all the other knives. So let's put it through this. Alright guys, so we're going to just check the edge on this. I don't expect it to hold the edge nearly as good as the D2 did, but I'm curious to see what it's got on it still. Like I said, out of the box, this thing was awesome, so let's try this. That edge has got a little bit of fight left, actually. It's not perfect, but nice thing about AUS-8 is that'll sharpen up pretty easily. Let's go into final thoughts and opinions on this knife. All right, guys, so final thoughts and impressions on the Ka Bar Dozier. So this was the one knife, when I opened all the 4 knives and I kind of played around with them a little bit, this was the one knife I kind of kept gravitating towards. Not that it's better or worse than any of the other knives, but it's done right. This is done right, guys. I have high marks for this knife. I don't want to gush too much, but out of the box, quality was great. The things that I look for, blade centering, blade play, sharpness, were all awesome. I gave this a half a turn on the pivot, and it fixed the blade play, and it didn't really affect the action. The fit and finish is good. It's got a nice slim profile. The pocket clip is awesome on this guy. As I said, it's thin, it's lightweight, it goes in and out of the pocket. It just, I enjoy carrying this knife. Kind of as the intro to me and my best friend song, this This could be that knife that I will grab when I'm not sure what I need to do. This is something that has a very specific place in a rotation. If I was going to need a knife, or if I didn't want to lose it or something could happen, I would grab this. This is the ultimate backup knife in my opinion, as far as knives that I've reviewed for you guys. It gets high marks all the way around. It's great in hand, and it's funny is looking at this knife, I think that the Benchmade Bug Out drew a lot of inspiration from this knife. They probably said, hey guys, look at that knife. It's very popular. It's a great knife. What can we do to kind of give people what they want just in the Benchmade fashion, which is, you know, access lock, higher quality materials. But if you look at this, I mean, hold on, let me do this. I did this a few times. Just it's hard to do it on camera. I'll put a clip of me doing it and actually in here. Watch this clip. Now, if you didn't know I was doing it on a lock back and I had my fingers pinched here, wouldn't you think I was playing around with a Benchmade Bug Out? So I'm not saying anything bad like, oh, Benchmade did this or this, but I think the Bug Out pays homage to this in a sense. Now, I don't know if that's been covered already. That might be a hot take. That might be old news, but and I can see why they did it, and I can see why the Bug Out is so popular playing around with this. It actually never appealed to me. I know, guys. I know. But after having this, I could see the appeal to that. And one of my good friends and viewers, Alan, he is a big Benchmade Bug Out fan over at SC Bushcraft and Backwoods. And he's been asking me about this knife, and I can understand why. He's been chomping at the bit for me to do this review. So, guys, I can't knock this knife for anything. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, it's a $20 knife. You can't knock the steel. It's AUS 8, which is slightly better than 8 CR13 MOV in my opinion. I think is actually a few notches better, but you know, that's to be determined, individual use and experience. But the lockback's good and secure. There is no hot spots on the knife doing that. The rope cutting test, you guys saw me doing that. This was the best one for that, actually, out of all that. I don't know if it has to do with the edge profile and the hollow grind, but this did great. The lawnmower belt, you know, so-so, but this is right, guys. This is a $20 perfection right here. Now, I know there's Gonzos and other things in that price range, but if you want a non-clone, just American company, someone who's been around for a while, this is made in Taiwan, but high marks, EDC, I don't want to say EDC perfection, but guys, this is a great knife. I can't say enough good things about it. You should get one of these. Throw it in your junk drawer, throw it in your glove box. This knife would not let you down for $20. I can't see if there was a gripe about it, what your gripe would be. And I know this knife's been out for a while, so I'm not giving you guys any new information. I'm just giving you my opinion. High marks for the Ka Bar Dozier, guys. It's awesome. It really is. You should have one in your collection. You know, this $20 knife is probably better than that $35 knife. Actually, I would say this is better than the Cold Steel. And then, you know, you don't have the triad lock, but this lock held up to my impact test just the same. So, guys, get on it if you want it. This will be part of the giveaway, so this could be one of the knives that you guys want to enter for. But we've got one more knife left coming up, and that is the Ontario Rat 2 Indy 2. So stay tuned for that coming out. Just kind of rolling some clips of the knife, and we'll see you all really soon, guys. Thanks for watching. Get you one of these.